I looked up from my holomonitor to find the bridge dark and abandoned. The last flickering consoles around me blinked out one by one, leaving me in total darkness, surrounded by the empty and lifeless ship I had come to know so well. The only light left was that of the soft glowing planet in the distance, and I gazed upon it for the remainder of the restless night. The planetfall sequence, once initiated, could not be stopped. The mission control sectors and the peripheral resource barges would separate from the primary centrifuge, descend to atmospheric entry, and set trajectory to the specific coordinates. The trouble, though, was that a smooth entry would not be possible without a coordination crew. They would be needed to make subtle adjustments for entry turbulence and barometric pressure changes. The central computer could not process these calculations without further data that I did not have at my disposal since the probes were never actually dispatched. Without its automated guidance, entry would be left up to pure instinct. For a single man, it would be like trying to look left and right at the same time. It could not be done. In short, that drifting fortress would not be my home for much longer. Within 24 hours, final descent into planet's gravitational field would begin. Within 48 hours, atmospheric contact and all evaporation ports would engage lockdown. I would be left with no option but to wait for my death in a ship reduced to shrapnel and dust. There was no way around it. If I wanted to survive, I'd have to take an escape shuttle to the surface. With no intel, limited resources, and no support. It was a massive gamble. But it was the only chance I had. I didn't have time to think. Not with that sort of time crunch. But it was difficult to do anything other than sit in a confounded disbelief in the wake of such a distressing conundrum, and it brought about a measure of enlightenment. Even if what I experienced up to that point had been an illusion, there were forces at work around me beyond my control. Things were happening by no action of my own. Things that could not have happened without a guiding hand. I could not have diminished as such sickness and near starvation in a matter of hours. I have no history of sleepwalking, and I did not unconsciously strap myself to that cot. The compound fracture and the quickly festering slash at the bottom of my foot were real. I'll never forget the pain, and I couldn't have imagined it all. And most importantly, activating the planetfall sequence requires multiple personnel at multiple consoles. I could not have started the descent alone. On top of the obvious meddling of outside forces, it had seemed all too deliberate. It fed my despair, prolonged my mourning, and gave me anger through fear, and gave me focus through defiance. And when I had finally found the resolve to climb to my feet and press forward, it rewarded me with one last vision of hope. There was a message through all of the chaos, the nightmare of hopelessness and death. It was provoking me, directing me. It wanted something from me, and it had been manipulating me to that end. These were the thoughts that raced through my head on that restless night. No doubt it would show me more in my last hours aboard that ship to cement my determination. It would not allow me to relapse into doubt, and it would do whatever necessary to reel me in. Find me, the little girl had said. That's what it wanted. So I would oblige.